Muhammad Umar Farooq biological video. Please make sure to subscribe, like and share. Ask the question for answer and comment about the artwork. So in this video we will talk about the phloem, transport and the translocation of organic solutes. So the phloem transportation is bidirectional, upward and downward. There's a translocation of the basically glucose, amino acids and vitamins and minerals. That is the basic simple. So another hand is the xylem is used for the transport of water and mineral just in the one direction from root to the shoot system. So here is the phloem transport sugar and organic substances. So here I will draw a plant with stem. There's a stem cross section area of that. There's the cross section of the stem is upper side is the primary stem. There's the primary due to the result of the primary growth. That's the epidermis and primary protoxylem and xylem basically. There's the and primary phloem is present. That's the protophlloem is also known as well. So the endodermis and epidermis and cortex is present. So next we will talk about if the downward of the cross section of the um, stem, we will take a cross section of the stem. So here the red color shows that the xylem, and the brownish light brown color shows that the phloem, that's going with the upward. There's a medullary structure of that thing, the triangular. That's basically. So here is the we will talk about the down of the cross section area, which that is growth due to the result of the secondary growth. That's the here is the endodermis and outer is the epidermis, and between the dermis there is the cortex are present. And here is the black color shows that the there's a black color shows that the uh, vascular cambium, that is between the xylem and phloem. That is the inside is the xylem and pith, which produced by the secondary growth, and the primary phloem will be pushed inside. Primary xylem will push inside, and there the secondary xylem will grow outward, but below the vascular cambium. Remember it, and there the outer word is known as phloem, that is the secondary phloem. So here we will talk about the lower side of the stem, that is the downward stem. That here is the more efficient secondary growth, which is the result of the wood. So here the wood production is here. The upper side is the phloem, that is shown in the after the rupturing of the primary phloem. That's the secondary phloem that is present in the cortex, basically endodermis and epidermis. Between the endodermis and epidermis, that the phloem is present, which that is below the pericycle. That's the pericycle cover the vascular bundles with that xylem and phloem. So here the diagram is not too much explanatory, but that's the just diagram which that are understanding about the concept about the xylem and phloem. So xylem is conduct the water and phloem is conduct the food. So is the secondary xylem which that are going into the pith, and that the secondary xylem is basically a vascular cambium will be produced again next vascular cambium, and the first vascular cambium will be remain as a annually ring that is shown in the age of the plant, that is shown in the black color. That is the primary and secondary annular ring. That's it. Here is the cross section of the stem, which shows that the phloem, which that is the outer projection of the phloem, because we have dominate the phloem for understanding. So here is the vessel of the phloem, which contain companion cell. So here we will talk about the cross section of the phloem. So here is the epidermis and phloem and xylem and cortex are present there. So here is the structure of the phloem, which that are pores, that is known as sieve element. And there's here is the yellow color shows that the companion cell. There's a companion cell is too much, but here is the I draw a simple diagram which that is explainable. So here is the xylem vessel, that's known as xylem vessel, which that um, xylem vessel is another sidewise. Sorry, here is not xylem vessel, but side of the phloem, inside is xylem vessel. But here is the companion cell, and here is the sieve tube, that is known as phloem. That is the phloem basically. And this phloem is used for the entering of water and food. That's the entering of water and food is used for it. So here the water will move due to the sieve element, and water and food. That's the food. We will suppose the sugar will enter, and that's move inward, upward, and downward by the some requirement. Where they require the sugar, that's the deposition of the sugar in that material. For example, the root, tuber, and potatoes. For example, fruit, and that thing is deposition of the sugar into that thing. We will discuss in this video. Please watching the whole video till the end of the video. So now we will talk about the structure of the flowing vessel, which that is the easy to understand about that thing. Now here is the vessel which that is parenchyma cells, companion cell, and which that are embedded into the parenchyma cell. So now companion cell, what is the function of companion cell? The companion cell is basically, here I will cross section area of the now we will zoom the basically phloem cell which contain companion cell. So the companion cell is very important. They basically they absorb the sugar into the companion cell, and they provide the sugar into the phloem. Also they absorb the sugar from go into the fruit and produce the sugar from the mesophyll cell of the leaf and go into the companion cell, and companion cell will absorb the sugar, and that sugar will be go into the phloem basically. So that's phloem is translocate the sugar into upper and down. So the major reason is that they provide ATP, which that is produced which accept the companion cell and produce the ATP toward the phloem for using it, and produce transport the sugar. That is the major importance, and there is a major function of the companion cell which that are present in the phloem. So remember it, that's the easy to understand about the companion cell which that are lie in the phloem vessel. So it's the water and organic material which that are move up and downward. So here is the water, and here is the porous and wall, which that is the end to end, that is known as node to node, like that. And we have studied about that thing, the plant which that is node to node. And here is the plasmodesmata. That's the plasmodesmata is used for the entering of the water and material, some material. So the companion cell is as well. Here is the sieve tube. Member is known as the basically is porous end wall. That is the porous end wall is used for the movement of the semi-permeability, and the water and organic material, that's a sugar, amino acid, fatty acid, which that is translocate into the phloem, that is due to the phloem. So the phloem is the water conduction and little bit water conduction but heavier organic substance. But in the other hand, the xylem is heavier for the conduction of water but little bit of sugar. So that's simple. So here the plasmodiesmata which contact to the both sieve and the companion cell, and companion cell provides ATP and protein to sieve tubes photosynthetic products as well. So that's remember it. No, here we'll talk about the cross section of the leaf. So here is the cross section of the leaf which contains the palisade mesophyll cell, spongy mesophyll cell, and here's the epicuticle and hypocuticle, which that are present in the hypocuticle is stomata, that is composed with a guard cell. Two guard cells contain stomata, one. So here is the palisade mesophyll cell, which that is present in the upper side of the leaf, and between the leaf there's a spongy mesophyll cells, and between the spongy mesophyll cell and palisade mesophyll cell there's the midrib is present. Yes, that's midrib is used for the conduction of water and food. There's a midrib is used for the conduction of water and foods. So here is the upper side is known as the phloem, and here is the companion cell, is the phloem vessel, and the companion cell are present is here, and there is a downward is the xylem. There's a xylem vessel is also shown in the figure. That is the cross section area which that covered by the bundle sheath cell. There's a bundle sheath cell which that absorb the carbon dioxide, sugar, sometimes sugar and carbon dioxide also, which used for the photosynthesis, and the photosynthesis products and sugar which used to enter into the companion cell to absorb the phloem. So here we will talk about the spongy mesophyll cell. The anatomy of the spongy mesophyll cells is here. That's contain the chloroplast, double membrane organelle, which that contain thylakoid membrane, stack-like structure is known as grana. That's grana used for the photosynthesis. When light fall on the chloroplast, there's light will fall on the chloroplast, and the falling of the light on the chloroplast is here and absorb the water which that is come from the xylem, and that xylem provide the water from the xylem vessel, and here the ATP and NADPH will be produced, and oxygen is the byproduct which that released by stomata to environment. So here the Calvin cycle will be produced by the fixation of carbon dioxide which that is absorbed by the stomata, and that's the produced sugar and amino acid. That amino acid will be go into the bundle sheath cell, okay, and there's the amino acid and glucose is going to the bundle sheath cell, and that's go into the again companion cell to phloem. That's the phloem is going to the basically that's going to the phloem into the fruit side, and there's the spongy mesophyll cell will absorb the water, and also it's absorb water for the photosynthesis which that we had discussed about here. Here is the water is required for it. That's used for the from the xylem. So here now we will talk about the basic structure of the leaf which that is used for the source, that is known as a source. The source mean the light is falling on the leaf, and there is a chloroplast is present in the leaf that is used to photosynthesis. That is the chlorophyll and water and carbon dioxide fixation by the Calvin cycle, and light reaction will be produce sugar, okay, and here this sugar is stored into the fruit, tuber, potato, and some types of fibrous root at some time, and another things. So here is the diffusion. We will talk about the diffusion. There's the diffusion is to velocity of sugar in phloem is equal to 1 meter per hour. So it means that very slow, and rate of diffusion is equal to 1 meter per 8 year. The rate of diffusion that is very slow. So it means there's not good things, and diffusion is never possible. So the no is the another thing is the pressure flow theory. We will talk about the pressure flow theory. That's a pressure flow theory is the constriction of solute, that the sugar and another material which that go into the cell to cell by producing the pressure. So here is the mesophyll cell getting carbon dioxide for photosynthesis, and so here is the mesophyll cell which that use the basically produce contain carbon dioxide and produce sugar which that go into the companion cell to phloem. So that's the phloem is accept. So here we will talk about by this understanding due to the during via a cell. So here is the basically phloem cell. It's a mesophyll cell, sorry, and mesophyll cells contain the plasma membrane and cell wall. That's the cell wall movement of water is the apoplast pathway. We will discuss in later. So here the bundle sheath cell. When the bundle sheath cell will go into the from mesophyll cell to bundle sheath cell, and there's bundle sheath cell transfer the sugar, because the sugar will be produced after the entering from the mesophyll cell getting for photosynthesis. So here is the carbon dioxide will absorbed into the mesophyll cell that is present in the leaf. Remember it, that is the type of the leaf that is present in the leaf, and use of photosynthesis by light reaction due to the presence of chloroplast which that are present in the mesophyll cell. So here is the cell wall which contain the plasmodesmata. That is the plasmodesmata is used for the conduction of water, conduction of food, and conduction of some mineral and vitamin. You remember it. So here the carbon dioxide will use for the photosynthesis. After the photosynthesis in the mesophyll cell go into the bundle sheath cell in the form of sugar, and that sugar is go into the another cell which that is known as the Phloem parenchyma cell. That's a Phloem parenchyma cell which more constriction of sugar which that repel the companion cell, and that companion cell will ultimately repel the sugar by a osmosis. That is the active transport which that is used to enter the sieve element cell, which that is Phloem, and go ultimately into the fruit. So here the fruit which contain the sugar, fructose and glucose sometime, and there's fructose and glucose will be combined to give us some time. There's a contain a here is the basically, sorry, I have a mistake about that thing, so I remember it. Here is a OH or present or some mistake that is happened. So here is the hydrogen, and here is the hydroxy group which that are condensation, and there's the glycosidic bond will be produced O, and there's the water release and produce the sucrose. That sucrose is in the form of sugar cane. So here I draw a sugar cane. Sugar cane structure is here. So now you can see it. So now we will talk about the basic understanding about that thing. The here is the accumulation of sugar, which that is accumulation of sugar is the produced osmotic gradient, which that are too much glucose will move by a diffusion. That's mean the diffusion is due to the pressure flow theory. That's pressure flow mean the pressure will be produced in the solute, which that is compelled to move to another cells. So that's the pressure flow theory. The pressure exerted by the accumulation of sugar, that's the and organic material which that are present in the one cell is too much, that's moved by a plasmodesmata to another cells. So that is the pressure flow theory is known as. So here the water, and that's the osmosis used for the water, and sucrose is the here is the I have mentioned the water color, and here is the sugar sucrose color, which that is a brown and is the light brown. So here is the xylem vessel which contain water, and water go into the by a plasmodesmata into the sieve element, that is a phloem, and contain companion cell. So here the plasmodesmata and osmosis will be produced, the water will be entered into the sieve element, the sieve tube. That sieve tube which contain the multi-direction of the movement of food, and multi-direction of the food as well as the multi-direction of water. So that is why it's known as phloem, because its unidirection is not as compared to the xylem. So here the light will be produced, and carbon dioxide absorbed, and water will be absorbed due to the xylem and produce the photosynthesis, glucose, sucrose. That sucrose and glucose which enter, I will recalling again, I will revise again about that things. So don't worry about that. So here is the ATP used to enter the one hydrogen ion and one sugar molecule from the leaf inside the phloem. That is the important, and the water is enter from the xylem. So remember it. So here is the sugar will be enter, and the sugar will be moved where the requirement. For example, so here is a fruit. I will draw a fruit structure is here. So first of all, I will draw a companion cell, because the companion cell accept first sugar and then transport the sugar into the fruit. So here is the hydrogen ion, which that is the basically is the plasmodesmata, which use as active transport and produce also contain ATP, which that is used for the plant. That is the ATP are present in the companion cell. So here is the fruit which that contain basically hydrogen ion, because hydrogen ion is move inside due to the one glucose move inside, and hydroxyl ion will combine to give a water. That's water evaporate in the environment for the more good quality of fruit for the dehydration of water. So that is why the fruit is good quality due to the transpiration, that is known as transpiration. So here is the sink region where the sugar is deposited into the fruit in the form of fruit, and the source region is the leaf where the photosynthesis occur. So source to sink mechanism is this. So remember that's the important things which that is happening in the basically I will repeat it. So remember that thing. Here is the source which that is leaf, which that is light and carbon dioxide and water, which that is used as a source and produce glucose. Okay, and here is the water which that is move inside in the phloem by a plasmodesmata, and here is the light and carbon that is known as source region, that is the leaf which that is used for the photosynthesis, and there's photosynthesis which give the glucose, and one glucose molecule entering into the C element by entering of one hydrogen ion to use ATP to convert ADP, that is the active transport, and go by the C element to translocate into the fruit. So that's the fruit is the sink region, that is you should remember it. There's a sink region which that is and water is also enter again for the photosynthesis by absorption of the xylem to phloem, and phloem will transfer into the leaf. That is the important thing. And xylem also directly absorbed by the leaf, directly absorbed by the xylem vessel. So here is the sink region which that is happening. Here I will understand about that. Here is the carbon dioxide fixed and is the thylakoid membrane to produce oxygen. That oxygen is removed from the stomata from here. So that is the byproduct of photosynthesis. So remember it that the transport and the translocation of organic solutes and organic material from shoot to the fruit, so or root or stem. So that is the important things which that we are study about that thing. So please uh, comment below about the understanding about this. I will repeat again. Here is the entering of the ATP use, and the sugar will be enter, and that sugar will be go into the by active transport to one hydrogen ion inside and move from here to here. The companion cell move into the companion cell, and companion cell will more transfer by the accumulation of too much sugar and another organic material to go into the fruit, and that fruit is hydrogen ion combined with hydroxyl ion to produce water, and that water will be released via a transpiration by stomata which that is present in the fruit. So there's the transpiration is occurred by the cuticle of the fruit during the time of green, during the immature time of the fruit. That is the another thing, the hydrogen bicarbonate which that is converted into the carboxylase anhydrase, which that is enzyme which use it, and basically here is the hydrogen ion release and produce HCO3 hydrogen bicarbonate, which that is a basic convert into the carbonate ion, which that is converted into again hydroxyl ion and plus carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is a gas which that is used for more photosynthesis, and theirs are used for the Calvin cycle are released from the stomata. So here is the use for the carbon dioxide from here. So I hope you enjoy the short video about the translocation of the material. So thanks for watching.